Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including. Got me on Avex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zoopy on Phantom, I got a few nodes. Sticking my Rex, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buying my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buying my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
All right. Welcome. It's a late night show, but welcome to R2R Live, episode 141. Normally I do live streams in the morning, right? But I have a members only crew where I was doing that at nighttime. And I switched back to mornings. I want to build a sweet spot, right? Like I do real early morning, live streams every day. I want to see if nighttime's good. People are at home, off work, kicking back. We'll see. We'll see if I get more people to tune in the morning versus at night. But welcome to episode 141. Pulsechain's OG WEBCHEF losing it. Is OG WEBCHEF losing his mind? Has he lost it? Right? Has he lost touch with reality? We're going to touch base with that. Tune in. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button, drop a comment. Always remember, subscribe. If you're on X, aka Twitter, freedom of speech platform, shout out to Elon Musk. You must follow and retweet. Make sure you let him know Thomas G is live. And always remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. For damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. Don't ever allow an influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to crypto. Because you can lose all your damn money. That's exactly what can happen. All right. Now we got that out of the way. Let's cover a few things before we get into it. All right. We're getting to the juiciness of what's going on Pulsechain and the OG WEBCHEF ecosystem. Looking at the S&P 500 today, guys. Closed above 5,200, almost closed at a little bit under 5,300 as far as the S&P 500. A little bit below 5,300 at 5,287 points. I always like to take a look at like the price of gold too. Like when gold's mooning, right? Doomsday, the world is going through a global financial collapse. People start to buy commodities. People buy gold, silver. I'm a big fan of silver bars and coins. Like I can't help it. I've been buying and stacking that stuff for a long time. It's probably the worst investment I ever made. Like if you want to buy something that doesn't go up in value, buy silver. Buy silver. But don't be like me where your first entry in Bitcoin could have been $30 versus $250. And you went and spend 10 grand on silver bars instead. Like, oh my gosh. Would have made so much money. Let's go to the chat. Little Cryptita Tita on Pulsechain. Welcome. Thank you for being here. She says she's got to pee before you start. Hey, make it quick. Hello from Australia, Austria, Oz, the AUS. I don't know. It's late. Maybe I'm a little tired. What is OG WEBCHEF up to now? I don't know. He's been in the chat all day, though. He's been very vocal today. Very, 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 very vocal. Lunchtime over here in Cambodia. Enjoy that lunch. What's good? We chilling. Welcome Forever Grind Crypto. Remember, guys, tomorrow will be the members only video, which I'll probably do it in the morning, right? Members only. And if you guys are in the members only crew, you got the alpha on what's popping right now a few days back. I broke it down for everybody, and we'll get into those tokens in a minute. All right, in a minute. Let's take a look at the price of good old Bitcoin. Damn, $93,425 Bitcoin. I hate. I'm just like old school coin market cap. Like I trade view and all that's great. Like I'm not the biggest fans of charting stuff, but I'm getting better at charting. I've always known how to chart, but not on the level where I'm like, let me teach you how to chart, right? But Bitcoin, $93,424. And you guys know I've been like very bearish. When I see a $93,000 Bitcoin, I don't become bullish. I will, however, become bullish tomorrow if it open and closes above 90K. Like tomorrow, the open and close above 90K. Like I feel like if it drops below 90K, we go right back into the same story. Like market makers taking over. We're waking up to tariff scares. Oh, you name it. There's always something. Always something. Market manipulation. It's like full blown. Balls to the wall, gas on the pedal. It's going on in real time. You got to study. You got to watch what's going on. Right? Sweet lady, what's up, Macho? Hey man, appreciate you being here. The dog right there. I know them feels on silver. Yeah, it's a slow feel, right? It's a slow feel. You want to cop a slow feel? Buy some silver. For real. Ethereum, $1,800 Ethereum, man. That's at an $1,800 range. People are getting excited. Oh, the bull market's here. We're going to $10,000 Ethereum. I'm not going to jump on that boat yet. I'll be bullish in the short term, possibly soon tomorrow, but I don't know. I don't get my panties tied up in a knot over these prices, right? I look at things. I go, Bitcoin was $109,000. It dropped down, in the mid 70s. There's something called a bull trap. There's things like they're referred to as centralized versus a centralized exchange, like FTX, Binance, all those people. They've been robbing people blind. We take a look at the 24-hour mark here, just looking at liquidations, right? Who's getting liquidated right now? Well, the people that were shorting the hell out of Bitcoin, thinking that we were going to continue to drop. All of a sudden, the market makers and everyone becomes bullish. Like, it's just mind blowing. How just the system works and how it's just like a well-oiled machine to continue to take the people's money that are in this casino, in the stock market, in crypto. It's like it's designed to just take our money on the dips, take our money on the pumps, because people want to leverage. They love getting liquidated. $552 million in liquidations for shorts. Fast forward 48 hours from now. Let's call it Friday, heading into the weekend. Will it be flip the switch? 552 million liquidated in long positions because people are getting excited. We're going to 100,000. All right, we just keep seeing this over and over and over. All right. But it's good when there's greenery in the scenery. Right? Who wouldn't be happy? I'm happy. Just not bullish yet. We'll see. Maybe I'll get there. Then when I'm bullish, I'm like, okay. I wouldn't just say it to say it. What's going on here? Vibrant Finance. What's up, my brother? Welcome. Locked in, Archon. What's going on? I have a feeling people trying to get to the Trillionaire Club and OG WEBCHEF won't work the way people think. There's a whole lot of things that were said today in the chat. I will say, OG WEBCHEF, good old Jesus Escobar. The more, and I say this from experience from YouTube, right? And a lot of you like Cryptita, and I talked about it in the past where I've had these, large YouTube channels, like 10x the size I have now. 10x the size of my 2,500 subscribers I had now. It was like 30,000. And the noise got really, really loud. It's not loud now for me. I've done this multiple times. You get to 10,000 subs. It gets a little loud. You can manage it. Get to 15, 20. It starts to get real, real loud. And I start getting up there. And everything you do or say, people hold you accountable for it. And not that you need to be held accountable, but you got 100 awesome plays and you got one bad one, you're a scammer, right? One bad day you get crucified. And the noise, I believe, in like the OG printer ecosystem right now with OG WEBCHEF and watching the frustration kind of play out today was the expansion of new users, people coming in, right? Somebody mentioned it in R2R earlier. Shout out to R2R. Links in the description if you want to join the VIP group. I always say your network is your net worth, right? The people that I associate myself with in R2R and people I've grown with, you know, they've elevated my game, and I know a lot. I've helped elevate their game as well. So the noise gets real loud, man. We got a whole lot of people coming in because they're chasing the ROI that they are learning about, right? The crypto coffee stream happened recently. It onboarded a lot of new people. You know, we saw a lot of people coming in like, what's Beast? Coffee Crypto's talking about Beast. He's a Hex Maxi, right? He's known for Hex, Pulse, and Pulsechain. He's not known for, up until recently, embracing everything outside of the core tokens. Started with pump tires, and now he jumped into OG. And, you know, you go and you see people are printing 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% with Beast for a while there, you know. And then the price goes down. Things happen. ROI goes down. If we take a look at the stats here, and these stats, I think they're pretty accurate right now, but across the board, since they've been doing a lot of things, they haven't been accurate as of late. But I'll tell you, the beast from the Middle East has been a blessing as far as a printer, right? I was dialed in with it for at least 3. It felt like almost a month, probably a month of like 45% ROI on a daily basis. My ROI, though, is probably higher than people when they got in, though, because I was buying it like $7-8 most of the time. And this was actually the first token that I got into that I actually learned a lesson on Remember. And I call it a lesson, right? Like when I first got into Remember, I'm like, I'm a diehard. I'm not going to sell my bag. Like I'm going to hold. And then I learned, man, Remember went pretty high. You could have grabbed a lot of money on the table while I was there and just DCA'd and tripled your bag. Bought the dip, the massive dip. So I learned my lesson there. And I was able to sell close to all-time highs, like $15, reposition myself. I've been in and out, like on my public wallet that I do with members only, like I'm in and out. I have a bag for like a different wallet for each of the OG printers right now. So each wallet has one of the tokens that I like. And with me doing that, you know, it's because I just had massive regret. I talk about this with the crew all the time. Like I didn't sell at the top because then I could have bought more Remember. I could have literally went from like 3 trillion Remember selling at the top, and I would have brought the price down and ended up with like 5 or 6 and then bought into other tokens. But instead, I did take a lot of profit and compounded, and I was able to grab Beast at a perfect time for the $7 range and then the 5% ROI. But I've seen a lot of things change here, right? And the price goes down, everyone really starts to get loud. So that community is massive now compared to when I first got in February. Like massive. A lot of people. I've onboarded a lot of people. Everyone who's talked about it has onboarded a lot of people. You know, it's just growing. Each token has really done a great job of presenting ROI that people were attracted to. And you can see it was trending on Twitter. Not so much right now, right? The sentiment's a little bit different. But anyways, I had talked about my group and about the possibilities of these price points hitting. You know, after I had sold, I let them know I was getting close to the top. So I'm like letting my members know what's going on, what I'm doing. I really feel like at this point, with what I saw today with OG, you know, he expressed that he was fed up with the noise because people are looking at all these printers and they're seeing it go from 5% to 1% or 5% to 2%. And you get so caught up in the moment and kind of, I guess you can say, spoiled at this point because it had been like consistent with, especially with Beast, high price, high ROI, that the price going down and the ROI going down, it's angering a lot of people, right? It's frustrating people. However, you know, if you're compounding at these rates, even at 1%, 2% per day, that's crazy. Those are like really, really insane numbers, to be able to achieve that. To be able to sustain anything above 1% is insane. It really is. It's like too good to be true. And I can feel that people are not appreciating that the work that's behind it with him and Hums and all that. So long story short, he expressed a lot of like, this is what I'm going to do. These are the changes, and he seemed like the noise had finally got to him. But long story short, he's like, hey man, like F all the noise. I'm going to go back to the plan. Like he's pivoting. He's pivoted a lot for sustainability of the ecosystem. He's doing a lot of testing. Like, this is crypto. This is all an experiment. When you have tech or designs that have never been done before in crypto, like what you're seeing here, you become a part of an actual true experiment in real time, right? And if you don't want to experiment with something, because the only way you can experiment and test the system is with actual money, you probably shouldn't invest, right? You probably need to leave the ecosystem. And, because I get these feelings of emotions where I'm like, damn it, what the heck? The ROI is down. But then I pivot from that emotion quickly. And maybe I rotate to another token or sell or trade, make profit. But I'm always in and out of the ecosystem or stacking tokens, like I said, in separate wallets. Like I can't leave because of the opportunity that's here. Like I've seen the test and the experiment work, and then it gets changed and a new thing gets implemented. So right now, we're in a huge test phase where they're trying to nail it down for several tokens. And as you can see, there's a whole lot of tokens in the ecosystem. I'm not crazy about the fact that there's all these tokens, but you got to see that they have ROIs. And I don't know how accurate the ones are all down here, but they're trying to micromanage all of them, right? Dominance, we'll get into that in a second. We're going to go to FinFesta. He says, I'm going to focus on FinFesta. Like his goal was always FinFesta to $100 and then beyond, right? What people don't understand is FinFesta to OG is what eHex is to Richard Hart. Richard Hart, his firstborn child was eHex, Ethereum Hex. And he went and built an ecosystem initially to support his firstborn child token, eHex, by giving it a blockchain environment that was more gas efficient and cheaper, right? It inspired that, then became a chain, and a lot of things come with that. So FinFesta it even came before PTGC. I've said this many times. 1 year, 9 months, and 21 days ago. And all these other tokens came long after the fact of FinFesta. If you don't know what FinFesta is, you need to go research that and understand this token. But the entire ecosystem in the background, through all of the loops and webs, because this is like an Atropa Maria inspired ecosystem with webs of tokens, right? Through LPs and all the different liquidities, and this token has thick LP with that token, and this and that. It all in the end is to support FinFesta. We want the FinFesta token wants to continue to be burned. FinFesta wants to get to 1,000. OG wants this to be $1,000 token one day, right? And we've seen it hit $100. And when we've seen it hit $100, a lot of people on R2R, I remember when we were first getting into the ecosystem, we were buying like $4 or $5 range for FinFesta, and then it went up. And then we're like, let's get into FinFire. FinFire then flipped FinFesta, and then FinFesta was like, F you, FinFire went to $100. Well, he said today, through all the drama, everything that was going on, people crying about ROI, crying about price. Oh my God, it's 1% per day now, and the price is $5. He's just like, all right, I'm going to focus on my energy on FinFesta, right? I feel like he took matters into his own hands, where he's just like, I want to control the moment here, and I'm going to show you what I can do. And it went up 50%, right? It was sitting here, below $19, $20, and it shot up. It shot up pretty quick. And this all happened in 1 day's time, right? He's just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And he's revisiting, supporting the token that it did hit $100 recently, right? But the marketing for this platform too, as well, it always got to go back. Like I figured the same thing too. Like Richard Hart has to go back and get eHex going. You get eHex and Hex going, the whole ecosystem pops off, right? And I think there's plans to do that. I think it would be the greatest marketing to get this back to over to $100, and people would have gotten a second chance opportunity that were like, not like the people on R2R that bought $4, $5, $10 FinFesta and rode it to 100, but the people that missed that and then it's down again. It's like, you want to, cryptos do this 75, 90% dips. Here's your opportunity. Wouldn't it be cool if that opportunity happened and shot up again to 100? So he seems determined to do that, right? A little bit of alpha I shared with R2R too, and everything is like timing, right? We'll switch to one of the tokens that's actually performing right now with like a 5% plus ROI was Dominance. This is a token we originally got in, and then it just got, I guess you could say, sidelined because of Remember. Remember was doing so well. We got into Dominance. It was printing well. This actually prints the P copy of Wrap Bitcoin, the P Wrap Bitcoin. And it's printing right now. It's printing hard. And I told the members only crew several days back, right? Before this big old wick here and all this action here, I was like, hey guys, it's below 70 cents, 50, 60 cents. I'm like, I'm going to accumulate this token because why? And we went into the tokenomics of what I liked about it. I explained, if you're a member now, you can go and watch that video. I go into detail, the tokenomics and the distribution. Long story short about Dominance, the distribution is like clean, bro. And if you don't know what I mean by distribution, when you go on like Pulse Explorer and you look at the distribution of tokens and the wallets and the holders, like you go look at that and compare it with a similar token in the ecosystem or any token out there, really, you're like, damn, bro, that's a clean distro, right? So I liked it. I let them know early. What's up, Cyphex? What's popping, y'all? Let the crew know. And I explained, like, OG's doing a lot of stuff with the bots and the taxes, turning on, Hums is turning on the sales tax to fight volatility and all this. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I like Dominance because it has a lot of the key factors that I think like PTGC has built in the contract for the token. And that is through the taxes right here, right? 0.5% is a self-burn. Like for the deflationary aspect of the token, 1% is an auto LP stacker. So buying and selling 1% of the taxes is going to the liquidity, right? 1.4% is paid to the contract for buybacks. And then 2.1% is for the PWBTC rewards. So with volume, right, based off the tokenomics, the taxes of this token, it's providing, stacking the LP. It's burning the token. It's providing rewards. And that's why with like PTGC, people are like, even when it's pumping and dumping, people are like less hesitant to sell, right? Because it has a tax. Right now on this token, right, when I started talking about it, it was like 50, 60 cents. I told the crew, let's get in. And now the ROI is like really, really high. It's 6.41% right now for Dominance. So we're printing while the makeover, right? Call it $1 million makeover. The ecosystem is getting a makeover right now based off like the tech that they're testing. You're part of the experiment. If you don't want to experiment with your money, don't experiment with your money. Go buy Bitcoin. Go buy Pulse, right? So been part of the experiment. We've had some great printing days with Beast. Awesome just recently with Sav. Gas Money, shout out to Hums. Awesome times. Monomics, remember, all those. Miser. All those are being talked about on a daily basis to make them great again. All right? Because obviously, once they figure out the sauce and they see that it works, they don't have to change it as often. I think market conditions will always call for a pivot, right? Market conditions will always call for a pivot. But he's pivoting. Like, now that all that noise is happening, I think he's in that mode where it's like, I'm going to shut these people up. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you that you want to shut people up. But they can't handle their emotions. I can't handle my emotions. I just talk, like, when I talk about the ecosystem, I'm just like real about it. Like, I'm just like, what I see on the chart is going to go down to here. I don't like this. I don't like that. Right? I don't need to hold back. I don't need to hold back on anything. I'm honest like that. If I had a conversation with OG or Hums and they wanted to talk about the tokenomics, I would tell them what I loved and what I don't like. And if they don't like it, so what? Just like when they make changes, if I don't like it, so what? Right? That's the nature of the beast on both sides of the fence. But I'm not gonna bite the hand that's been feeding me, dog. I'm not. I'm gonna stick with it, right? I think they had a nice glimpse of what the capabilities of what he can do in one day. And when he tells you, I'm going to take it to $100, you best believe you've seen it done before. Beast right now is going to be, and here's the thing. These are all the targets I drew for people in the group. I told them, like, you'll be able to get in here. It's gone lower due to these changes. But right now, like, Beast doesn't pay Pulse anymore. It pays, I believe, Remember and Miser. Maybe it's Remember and Gas. They might have changed it. I'm not sure. I haven't looked in the past couple hours. Watching the Laker game, man. The Lakers won. I've been watching playoffs. I'm in playoff mode, right? So if you like Beast and you saw what he did with Beast, $4, it can be yours, right? You can stack it there and, be a part of the experiment. Like I said, I've been rotating around. Now I got, what do I have? I'll have a wallet with Beast, 2 wallets with Dominance now, a wallet with FinFesta, which, by the way, I've been telling people, and I even said today, right before, like hours before the pump, and I've been saying it for a few days, like I'm focusing on buying FinFesta, because if you're a part of this experiment, you got to know what's really going on. The firstborn child, everything in the back end is the utility to burn FinFesta and get it to new levels. So understanding that everything is webbed and built to support that token, why the hell would I not own it? So I do got a wallet with FinFesta, Miser, Gas, and I'm not like a huge fan of Miser because like the crazy tax that's on it right now, but I hold it. Okay. When I get rewarded in it, I just sell it. So I don't know if Beast is rewarding it. I'll see when I log into that wallet. It was at some point, right? But it's subject to change. They make these moves for the greater good. So, like, do I think he's losing it with all the stuff he was saying today? I think the best way to put it is like when you fall so deep into something like this in crypto, and I couldn't imagine being a developer, and you put that much energy, like the around the clock work that they put in, him and Hums, and he was the most vocal I've ever seen today. At some point you lose your mind in the madness, right? I'm not saying he lost it. Like I would think I was even saying earlier, like, damn, homie went off the deep end as far as like expressing himself. He's very calm and collective and just comes in every so often. But you can tell he felt not appreciated. And that was just like, it can be alarming for people. They'll sell off and like, he made it a point, like, I'm going to focus on FinFesta, which people might take it the wrong way. Like, oh, he's going to ignore this token. Like, no, I think he's showing you what he's capable of doing at will. At will. One day he can wake up and be like, I'm going to 3x Remember. Or Miser's going to pay 5% ROI today. It seems to be that they have the ability to crank it up, crank it down whenever they want. Like I said, I'm a part of this experiment here. It'd be crazy to be like, yeah, guys, like you can join this ecosystem. You're going to get 5% for the rest of your life, right? I think the goal is, and I've been saying it to these people, to my people, and I look at Beast, I go, here's what you want from Beast. Most of you guys that got in, that bought up here, you want it to go back to all-time highs. I don't think it ever will come back up here unless he wants it to. What I want is just sideways action with consistent ROI. If it trades between $2.50 and $5 or $2 and $4 with consistent ROI and trading sideways, I am happy as I can possibly be. I don't need it to go up here, right? If you bought up here, that's going to be good for you too, because you're going to want to get your gains back that you lost on price depreciation, and then go above and beyond that from compounding and doing things the right way. Because you can sell and take a loss, so you can compound your way out of a hole. So if you think of it that way, you compound your way out of a hole, or you compound whatever amount you want, right? And I wasn't even looking at the chart. Compound into other aspects of the ecosystem, and those have some price appreciation, trade sideways, pay good ROI. There's a lot on the table here, right? So I see the frustrations that happened today. I'm actually glad it happened. I'm glad it happened because, like, if I'm not in their chat right now, I'm not in their chat. Matter of fact, OG left my chat, and when I talked about dominance and telling my people to get in dominance at this price, and they were early and now the ROI is crazy, like, I didn't have this conversation with these guys. I didn't get any tips from them or nothing like that. I just liked it. I liked what I missed originally, and I go, it looks like he's cooking with this token here. He's messing with the ROI. It's at 3%. I think, there's potential to kick it up because it has some good tokenomics. They're like self-sustaining for supporting its own token. Like, doesn't need quite as much human management with tokenomics. Like, Hums has to turn off the tax with gas and all that. Like, it could be autopilot type style. The more autopilot type style they get with these tokens, the better, right? Again, I don't think any of these tokens, other than FinFesta, have a reason to go parabolic. We want them to trade sideways with some good ROI, right, at the end of the day. So if you're, shout out to people in R2R or in the members only, they got the call on this, and I explain everything. We did the same thing with Remember. Started talking about people with FinFesta. There has been some rotations. I do identify a few things that are going on. If I want to throw one out to you guys right now, right, that I will probably, I think it's obvious to people, but I'm going to talk about it in the members only soon. But I'll throw a nugget out there, right? If you want to look at history, right, and what it's done in this ecosystem, okay, and knowing that in life in general, not just in crypto, but in like history repeats itself in any category in life, history, sports, you name it, right? What happened the last time FinFesta went on a run? Does anybody here know? Were you there? Who was there? I was there. A lot of people in R2R was there, right? During this time. FinFesta went on a run, and when it reached like the $30 mark, we were looking at FinFire because it actually was being rewarded at the time. I think we were earning it through Flexmas. I can't remember. And then we started to look at the tokenomics, right? We're going to the Pulse Block Explorer here. So crappy. I hate the Block Explorer, right? And it was like, well, there's not a lot of tokens. Low supply. You started looking at the similarities. And what happened was, I don't want to get into the details, so save that, for another time. But FinFire started to gain rapid price appreciation, and it flipped FinFesta. And then they were both like in the 30. It passed FinFesta. So if history repeats itself, FinFesta goes on a run again. FinFire had the delayed reaction of going up slowly after it, then matching its price and flipping it. Then FinFesta's like, see you later, F you, I'm gone. Where it went to $100. FinFire was still at an awesome price. I feel like it's a steal to get some FinFire at these prices. So I have been buying it. A lot of people in my chat have been buying it too. Like a lot of people that are talking, they're like, yeah, I'm still buying FinFire, which is finance on fire. Now that I see FinFesta going on a run here, and the goal is to get it to $100, and I believe, OG will do that. He's like determined. Like you don't want to bet against that guy. Okay. You don't want to bet against them. That's all I can say. So if I was a betting man, which I am, I do crypto, and he says I'm going to get to $100 and someone wants to bet me 1,000 that he can't versus 1,000 that he will, I want to take the fact that I'm not betting against him. I would bet that he will get it to 100. And then above that as well sometime, in the future, way above that. So history repeating itself, this token going on a run. You've had these opportunities to accumulate it at these lows. Now it's here. It's still low if you believe in the $100 mark. FinFire will probably be right behind it on its tail again like it was during this time. How do people do? They go on their charts, they go, oh, remember here? Okay, anyways, around here was all the action happening. That was February, right? So I think that it has a good opportunity at a $7 range. If it hits to where I started to get excited when the flipping was happening, it's a 5x away from hitting $35 again, right? If I delete all this nonsense here, you see it's all-time high, $67 FinFire. And during that time, the LP is going to probably increase as well. You don't know, maybe they add LP, thicker LP somewhere else. Let's take a look at the web of LPs for this token too. Yeah, the biggest pair is with Pulse, okay, at this given time. So that's your biggest pool. So that's what I wanted to just throw out there as a nugget, because I do believe history repeats itself, right? That's why we have these cycles where like Bitcoin is going to go up every 4 years. And then sometimes it doesn't work out that way, like with Ethereum. Totally wet the bed this time around, right? So that's that. I do believe in that. But I think this is going to be front and center. Top 5, going to hit the number 1 because of price appreciation. Every time you see, somebody from the Crypto King, Sami, anybody talking about Pulsechain and they're on Deck Screener or whatever it may be, you're going to see FinFesta boom in the top 5. And then people are going to talk about it because it's going up. And then people are going to be like, okay, I'm interested in FinFesta. What else do you got? I hear this whole ecosystem. And they discover the ROI and the rotation back into the ecosystem, along with the sentiment, along with the price appreciation, along with the crazy ROI and the money printing again, just hits cycles all over, right? Like if we want to chart sentiment, it peaked rather high in February for one particular token. Remember, and originally was Miser, to Remember, to Beast. And during those 3 events of experiments of people printing and the ROIs and price appreciation we got, they learned a little bit of something, got a little bit of sauce to add here and here. I think ultimately what would be really interesting to see, and what I'm excited for, is why I'm starting to accumulate on wallets separately, different tokens, to really micromanage and understand what I'm earning, not to have it all in one wallet. Is it would be amazing as I stack all these tokens at these high ROIs, right? But this ROI could stack a lot of dominance right now. Okay. Down the road, we don't get these crazy price appreciations, but we get steady ROI. So what if you have 5 tokens, right? Each paying 1% per day, 1.5%, 2%, 1%, 0.5%, and it's consistent. And it's feels realistic, right? When you're earning 6%, 5% per day, you're like, how long is this gonna last? Like, it feels like, okay, this is probably sustainable. But you have several tokens doing that, and you're printing and you're buying the cores with it, compounding, paying yourself. I think that's where it's heading, right? But the time to get in and to be a part of the experiment, like I say, the time to get in is when the sentiment's at its worst. when the founder has lost his mind and said, I'm tired of this shit, guys. All right, I'm going to do what I want to do. And here's what's going to happen, and we're going to take care of you. So I think he unleashed all his emotions today, which it bottles up. I'm glad he did it. Because now he's going to wake up and go determined to do what he set out to do, right? Because Pulsechain doesn't have a lot of builders. We don't want to beat on this guy. We don't want to, make him feel not appreciated. We want, if you've been in this ecosystem, you're making money. A lot of you have, but you are way in the green and the plus, right? We want these builders to stick around and keep innovating. Fast forward 6 months from now, and this ecosystem is thriving, and we've gone through the worst, and it succeeds. Then what more could he add down the road to help us continue to earn? Right. So the best thing to support the ecosystem, if you want to be part of the experiment, right? If you don't want to be part of the experiment, don't put your money in it. If you don't want to go through ups and downs of ROI, don't put your money in it. And do I take my own advice? No. I put more than I'm willing to. I put more than I can afford to lose. That's me. Don't get influenced by me. Don't get influenced by people like that. Just being honest with you, right? Because I'm risking it for the biscuit. I'm going after greatness. I'm going after the opportunity because I couldn't sleep with myself if I didn't do that. Okay, right? So yeah, when ROI goes from 5% to 1%, do I talk a little bit of shit and get kind of bitter? Yeah, and I'm like 5 minutes later, I'm like, this is great. I'm still printing, right? That's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you got to punch the wall. Sometimes you got to say a few things, but you come back to reality and you're like, okay, I'm part of the journey here. Let's see what happens from now. And I think if you're in the ecosystem, it's hard to leave, right? You come right back in, like trade. Like I'm trading. Sometimes I'm taking losses. Like I'm stacking other wallets. I'm like, okay, I can't get enough of this. I don't think I'll be 100% out for a while unless it ends, then I'm out by default. But it's too hard. I'm addicted. Some days I'm like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that OG WEBCHEF and I like these guys. That's what I'm investing in. I don't really, you got to understand, like in cryptocurrency, I still look at it as I'm investing in these individuals here. Right? The tokenomics is great. The ROI is great. But I'm investing in Hums. I'm investing in Jesus Escobar, OG WEBCHEF. I'm investing in those guys. I've listened to them. I've watched them, how they speak, what they do. I understand they're human and they're not perfect, right? But I see the effort. I see the drive. I made the money. I've lost some money, made the money back, remember Qubit? It was like $1,800 in 5 minutes. And then made it all back in like less than a week, printing, I think it was like with Beast or whatever it was. Remember Beast? I can't remember. So I've been through all that. And I'm still here, still standing, still talking about, all these things. It's late. I think I'm ready to end the stream. I think I'm ready to end the stream soon. But you guys got a little piece of the alpha about FinFire. We'll talk about this in the members only. I think it's important to explain the details as to why this happened here and why I think it could happen again. Damn, let me take a look here. FinFire at some point went real high. Let's take a look at its highest, like in the early days. There you go. It's not a lot of tokens. Not a lot of tokens. So it doesn't shock me it was at those prices. Will it ever hit again? Never know, man. We'll see. We'll see. Somebody mentioned earlier he remembers Trillion Club. Let's see how much it costs for a trillion tokens right now. Let's see. What is that? 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, 10 million, 100 billion, 1 trillion. $9,100 to be in the trillionaire club right now. Oh, I'm stupid. I can just look at the numbers here. 8 zeros and 91 would be 9,166 on the dot, right? So dumb. Why am I typing in here? I can just look at the number and figure that out. Lower it goes, right? Goes to 8,000. It's 8,000. If it goes to 8 zeros and 8,000, then that's $8,000 for 1 trillion. That's how late it is. But we had 97 people here tonight. I don't know if we beat the day crew, the morning crew. Kind of like button. That's how I'll know. That's how I'll know. If you get more likes during the nighttime or the daytime, that's how I'll know. So if you're here, on the like button if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, hell man, retweet this. Show some support. Show some support. Like I already said, like I'm like sometimes I'm too blunt, too honest. Shannon Sharp. You know, how many times have I talked about this ecosystem? A lot. Am I a paid actor? No. This guy's never given me anything. Just ROI, opportunity. Never even had him on my show. Asked them, they never came on. They showed zero support for my platform. Zero. That's how I was trolling when they did the crypto coffee. Because like, bro, how many people are going to listen to crypto coffee? Nobody goes to that guy for DeFi. Him and his damn 5 o'clock shadow. God, I love him. But yeah, I do it because I like it. And I like those guys, right? Regardless of like, you know, like I talked about this before. OG left R2R chat. I don't know why. I don't care what the reason is really. But I noticed that. Zero support on my platform. No interviews, none of that. Like I said, I asked. So, you know, I'm not shilling this because I'm getting paid on the table. I didn't call Dominance early because I know anything about it. I just like study everything that I possibly can. And I'm talking with people consistently about, well, what's going on with this today? And like, why do you think the price is down? And why is it printing versus this? And what's the possibility of this like not being legit? And okay, here's what's going on in the background. Like, you got to be involved when you're with this. If you're just going to experiment, throw money out there and walk away, that's cool. But like, I'm really involved with it. So I'm excited to see what's to come, right? I think all the tides are going to rise together at some point, but keep your eye out on FinFesta. Okay, when we wake up tomorrow, should I throw a prediction out? What is right now? 4:22, 11:03 p.m. I'm going to throw a prediction out for FinFesta. What is the price? $19 to $10. So it went up $10. LP is 883,000. $36 around this time tomorrow night. And if OG really wants to press it, probably further. Like the LP's not thin. The LP's not thin. That's a pretty thick LP. Think about $36. I think about that. And then a couple weeks, you know, you can get to 100. We'll see. We'll see. The last time was here in March. Funny thing is, who told you that the bear market would end in March of 2025 for the past year? Me. And practically everything I'm in went down in March. FinFesta, everything went down in March. Let's go take a look really quick before we end the stream. Actually, I want to predict Bitcoin and everything else for tomorrow, but I have to take a look to see if there's any like Wall Street, you know, from 10 minutes ago, anything that's trying to scare the market for tomorrow. They'll throw it out there all nonchalantly between now and midnight. China says F Trump, right? Some kind of post. U.S. stock futures jump as Trump says he has no intention of firing Powell. Okay. So the other day he calls him a loser. Why wouldn't he fire him if he thinks he's a loser? If he could even fire him or inspire them to fire them, you know. Trump says China tariffs won't stay at 145%. That's 2 hours ago. That's a good thing for tomorrow. Tesla went up because Elon said he's going to pull back the time with Doge and focus on the company again. You see that? So there is a lot of positive sentiment before we go calling it a night across the board with stock news. So that's good for Bitcoin because we're correlated with the stock market. Something always spoils the fun. That's what I really believe in. Something always spoils the fun. These articles, I'm telling you right now, you go to bed and you're like comfortable. You wake up, Armageddon. Like every time, like 10 out of 10 times. So it depends how high they want Bitcoin to go. 95, 96,000. That would be a really good bull trap. I bet you anything, something is going to spoil the fun. And then there's going to be liquidate the long positions. I just see it way too much. You gotta understand the opportunity, right? I'm bearish on the market. And I believe the bull market ended. But you understand when you transition from a bull market from a bull market into the bear market, the exchanges have to hibernate into a bear market with as much money as possible. So the market makers that work for all of them, that make these things happen, pumps and dumps, they're going to make money on the back end and the front end on both sides of the fence, right? Just liquidating the longs, liquidating the shorts. So setting up a big rally like this and making the mega bucks several times, they've already done it. This has been like the biggest push I've seen in recent weeks, right? So one's got to believe that they only let it get so high. Because if Bitcoin was like extremely like bullish for me, like going long term versus short term, like short term would be like in the next, for me, like the next day or week or so, it would be above $1,000 with, you know, tariffs dying off. You know, it's a year since the Bitcoin halving. You know, the SEC is in the IRS and everything. Like the SEC is basically like, leave crypto alone at this point. They're dropping all the cases, even the fraud case versus Richard. We're embracing it as a nation here in the U.S. I just don't think you can prop it up to continue to go up. It's just temporary, like just a temporary thing. So we'll see when you wake up. What news article are we going to wake up to tomorrow? What would cause the flip of the switch here? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think in my mind, like, because I've literally seen it all. I feel like we wake up tomorrow and the feds are like, something's going to happen. China, something to do with the tariffs. If not tomorrow, by the time we go into the weekend. Because everything is super political, right? The Democrats hate Trump. The Republicans hate the Democrats. There's no way to let this guy send us into what you call super cycle, right? Like a super cycle right now would be what we would convert into. And like we did a massive dip and we just go on a gnarly run for a long time. It would ruin the chances in the next 4 years for the Democrats to get, you know, all their seats back and get the presidency back. it would be a red carpet for JD Vance to go right into the White House right after Trump. And I don't think that the people, the higher ups, the people that are trying to get drained right now, the swamp things are going to let that happen. I really don't. But I'll enjoy the green while you can. 5,400 S&P. It's going up. Oh, market opens in 7 hours and 21 minutes. It's going to correct tomorrow. So let me throw a price out there for Bitcoin. I'm just sitting here thinking in real time. Sorry if I'm boring you. I'm like going through all the scenarios in my head. Right? Bitcoin goes to $89,000 tomorrow. F it. I'm just going to say it. I don't care if it goes to 95, 96. That'd be great. Something's going to happen in the next couple of days to send it below 90K. I just feel that way. They hate Trump too much. SwapX token getting bought by the FEM from Sonic and staked. Is it really? Let's go take a look. Where my Sonic tokens at? Where is it? Oh, snaps. There we go. Yeah, this thing was down in the dumps. Doing good now. Yeah, you're right. Some stuff going on. Some stuff is definitely going on. So yeah, give me a longer time frame. What is it tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah, by Friday. Below 90. A nice bull trap. You almost got me. Some people are like, screw you, Thomas. We got to go into a bull market because I didn't make enough money and Pulsechain didn't go parabolic. For most of you out there, in order for you to believe that a bull market came and gone, Ethereum would have gone to all-time high. Nobody cares that Bitcoin went to all-time high. Nobody cares that Solana went, to its all-time high. BNB, everything, December, January, like clockwork, up and then down, and then clarification that it ended in March. I mean, the clarity that I needed, the data that I needed. Poor ETH, man. How silly, huh? Let's look at the 1 year. Yikes. You see that right there? It's all-time high for the year, hit in December. Bitcoin's all-time high, I believe, was in December as well. Falls off. Gets into March. And then it's deep waters at the end of February into March. Bear market. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe Thomas G is just real stupid. Maybe I've been doing crypto for so long I don't get it. And I'm just going to be just so far off and wrong. It's going to be embarrassing for me. Look at that. In December, 106. This chart, it did. We know it went to 109. Right? And then March fell off the cliff. Some bounce back, went down here. This looks like a bull trap. Want to look at a crazy chart? Let me pull one up really quick. Let me pull up a chart that's interesting. This one right here. This is the chart after the stock market crash, what they called Black Monday on October 28th, 1929. This is the chart here and what happened. And some people are comparing this chart here with what's going on today. Let me take a look. Today's stock chart. Let me see if I can find the right chart for you guys. You're gonna trip out. Here we go. I've looked at this chart a lot, and I'm like, where is it gonna let me go? Gosh, what am I doing? I'm gonna find this chart and I'm gonna start showing it every day. I got to. I think it's interesting. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Because it would mean that like we are in a massive bubble. Which, God forbid, I don't want to be in a massive bubble. Like we might be, but I can't find the right one. Oh well. I'll have that prepared for the next stream, and I'll show you the chart of the Great Depression, recessions, and all that compared to what we see now. ETH, it can't get right. I know. People have too high expectations for crypto, excluding stable coins. There's like 8 coins above 10 billion market cap. Yeah, they do have a lot of the market cap share, and it's like your safe haven too, right? Crypto's the future. Small now, too big in the future. So it's only going to grow. It's only going to grow. So this means everything gets further diluted in a tech asset-based environment. It's shocking about XRP just because it has no utility for retail. For the banks to use. So they do transactions internationally for like peanuts. I mean, they can buy a bunch of it, but like, it's basically, it's not like you have to own a ton of XRP to utilize its technology. I don't get it. If you wanted an XRP-like technology, then you would, and you're interested in that, but you want it for the people, for our use, retail use, then you're talking stellar lumens. That's our version of like XRP for us. We're never going to use XRP's technology. It's a bank thing. I don't know how people look at it and say it's going to be like $100 one day. I mean, I don't know. It's gone a long way. My entry on XRP was a half a penny when I first started buying the hell out of it and sell lumens and all that. Like, I first got into crypto, man, the market caps were so tiny, like itty bitty market caps, like 2.9 trillion. I'll always show you the market cap of when I first got into crypto, what it looked like. It's mind blowing to look at. Did I already click on it? Oh yeah, let me click on the all chart here. So you got to remember, I'm here in 2015. And the overall market cap in crypto was 4.36 billion. That was it across all assets. So I remember telling people like it's going to be trillions of dollars one day. They're like, it's not even 10 billion. Like, what are you talking about? Because when I originally looked at it, I had that vision because when I originally looked at Bitcoin, right, it was way back here, and it was before like it even hit 2 billion, I believe. And I went with my silver investment instead. So when I got in 2015ish or whatever, and it was 6 billion, I was like, oh man, the overall market cap is 6x in size. And I'm like, it did it in this time frame. But the technology is still like it's super disruptive for fiat currency when it comes to Bitcoin. Ethereum came, and then DeFi was like born, right? And I was like, this is going to really kickstart the billions, and that's why I got to start thinking trillions down the road. Well, it took a while. My first cycle ended short of $1 trillion market cap overall. It ended right, December, the end of 2017, going into 2018, where I had been buying for a while, and I went into my first parabolic bull run, and then it ended. Bitcoin went to 19,000, 20,000, down to 3,000 after this bull went into a bear, but it didn't hit the 1 trillion. It was short of it. So I was like, oh my God, we lost all this market cap. And I remember thinking, how's that possible? I thought in my brain it was just going to grow gradually over time. It was just going to be keep going. I didn't realize that there was actual cycles, right? I didn't know that. I just thought it was going to be gradually just go up, more and more market cap, but the market cap got depleted from 800 plus billion below 200 billion. I was like, what kind of world is this? That was crazy. Too many coins with billions of market cap. That's why the Bitcoin maxis hate alts, because they take money away from their bags. Yeah. They just keep getting diluted. So the more people really buy the case where they're saying Bitcoin's going to be $1 million, I don't think so. When the market cap of the overall cryptocurrency industry finally reaches 10 to 20 trillion, right? Before, there was no such thing as Ethereum dominance. It was just Bitcoin dominance. Ethereum dominance probably won't even be a thing. It's probably going to be like Solana dominance or something else dominance, right? Because we're going to have a lot of new tech. It's going to keep diluting Bitcoin. Bitcoin will probably never hit $1 million. If Bitcoin was going to hit $1 million, it would have probably did it already if there had not been any other innovations. If it was just Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and maybe XRP, right? It would all the money that is in all these other tokens, all these altcoins would have put your $1 million market cap. The people that said Bitcoin was going to hit $1 million never accounted for thousands of altcoins taking up market share. That's honestly what happened. So your $1 million evaluation wasn't unrealistic, because by design with the halvings, we should have already been there, right? Bitcoin is going to be 20 years old in the next half a decade, right? So no one was thinking that it was going to share market cap with all these other cryptos. There were better innovations that you can actually build on and do DeFi. So you got to look at it that way. If in the next 5 years we add another 1,000 tokens, and out of 1,000 tokens, 100 of them have a successful range of market cap that can compete with the existing ones, that's more diluted. So the next cycle, technically, since the 109 was the peak of this bull market, everyone said $250,000 Bitcoin, $7,000 and $10,000 Ethereum. That leads me to believe that Bitcoin probably will take years, but it will probably max out. Not even in the next cycle. The next cycle, Bitcoin may hit 150,000. And then it won't be until the next cycle after that 200,000. And it just may never go above that again. There could be. Is it impossible? You got to think this way. Is there a technology as far as cryptocurrency that is either being built today and it's not out yet, hasn't even been thought of, but will be out in the future, that's so disruptive that it kills, let's say, Ethereum, right? And then other technology gets built and it's way better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin couldn't possibly just be the one and only cryptocurrency asset that earns this type of market cap and respect worldwide. something's going to happen eventually. Our kids that are young now, and when they're in their 20s, are not going to be like, yeah, Bitcoin came out before I was born, and nothing else ever came after it that was better. There's a lot of stuff that's better than Bitcoin, by far. Been a long stream. Don't forget to pound the like button. Drop a comment. Until next time. Yeah, dog.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including got me on Avex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zoopy on Phantom, I got a few nodes. Sticking my Rex, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around.